Well, welcome back. Weeb0nomics finally back after a long hiatus.
Wow.
uh, but I think we're finally, it sounds like maybe getting back into the swing of things. So if you remember where we left off last time, we were talking about watching Attack on Titan in somewhat of a similar form that we watched Full Metal Alchemist, right? Where Steven had already seen Full Metal Alchemist, and I was a newbie to it, and now we're switching to Attack on Titan, which he finally agreed to actually go through the process of. But I'm also reading the manga of it for the first time, so I'm coming into it knowing the story, but trying to see maybe what differences I'm picking up on. So I guess, before I get too long-winded with this, so we started with what Steven was supposed to watch 10 episodes, and he told me prior to this that the manga was better than the anime. I'm going to reiterate this many times, as much as I can, honestly, through this conversation. Of those 10 episodes, how many further did you go, Steven?
I'm at the episode 23, and I'm still going. I want to blast through another 10 episodes tonight after this.
So fair to say you're enjoying it.
I'm absolutely enjoying it. I'm hooked. Just like the manga, I've enjoyed it, but the anime, my goodness, the color. I didn't even realize it was a 2013 animation.
Yeah.
And it's like the colors, like how they just contrast each other, the lighting. There's just even a few moments like gotcha moments. I'm like, oh shit, they lived? I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. It's like, oh, I enjoy it.
Do you feel coming into it that the action, because I'll say from my standpoint, I do feel like the action, just from even knowing that I watched it, and I have watched it again semi recently, so to me is much more pronounced and better to me than like in the manga. In the manga, like obviously I get it, but like I can't visually see it as the same exciting way as the anime. And to me, that's like kind of the make or break difference. How did that, I guess, go for you?
So like when I was first reading the manga, I was putting myself in the place of them, right? I'm this human who is nothing compared to these titans, and I'm in the city. All I got is my gear, and they could kill me instantly.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see the horror, right? But that's just through the manga. I could just see, let's see, so much. I can only see so much. But in the anime, my goodness, it kind of gave it another dimension in how useless they were.
Yeah.
Especially when they finally get out of the wall, and they weren't fighting near any buildings anymore, so they couldn't use their gear.
Yeah.
And I remember the first Titan that came out, that he was running on all fours, like crab style, backwards. If that makes sense. Like his back was to the ground, and his running crab style, chasing the one guy on the horse, and like that was horrifying. I just can't even imagine me on a horse, right? And this gigantic thing who wants to eat me is just right on my ass.
Yeah. So it's still sounding, because I know we previously had, I don't want to say an argument, but we had a conversation about what this genre feels like of Attack on Titan, and for you that horror element being there, versus I felt like for me it feeling more of like an action thriller. Do you still feel like even through the first 23 episodes that you watched that it's still in that vein of like it feels really horror bound for you, or are you seeing it more?
Yeah,
You're what? You're sticking?
I still, yes, correct. I'm still sticking with that mentality. I don't see the action well, of course it's action of it. Action to it, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's secondary, if not tertiary.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still fear based, but I will still stand my ground here. I think the anime, I think the manga still portrays more of a desperate feel, more of a like you're more of a despair feel. It's kind of like the difference between Bleach manga and Bleach anime, where Kubo's art style is that it's so dreadful. I won't say dreadful, but there's so much detail in his art, but the manga just the anime just kind of loses it, and that's what I feel is going on here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like reading the manga, I maybe am unfairly comparing it to more for Berserk. And I don't think the detail is there, but I think I'm sure, honestly, that he's an incredibly talented artist and that it's more of like a one time, but also design choice, the way that he does things. So it's less detailed. And to me, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm as bound into the horror element of it. I get the situation, so I'm with you, and I think that is the part that I read through. Is like, okay, if you can imagine yourself being in this, like it would be insanely traumatizing on so many levels, right?
The last world, I would isekai to.
You haven't read Berserk yet, so I don't know if you should say say that.
Maybe top 5
worlds. Yeah, there you go. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go. That sounds like a great time.
Not yet, Jakun.
Yeah, so I like when I read it, I think like you were kind of saying like the colors, right? I think they do a whole lot. The anime just really makes it like pop in a way that I don't know. I think that's, man, I am talking in circles about this, but the way that I guess the point I'm trying to make is the way I feel with it being black and white and drawn, I feel the horror element more from the manga. And I don't, in the anime, I don't feel that it's as like intense in that way, because the mood, I mean, the music is amazing, but the music again it's dark, but it's also like kind of high energy, right? Whereas like I feel like with horror, it's like really like slow and like moody and getting you to places. So all the extra stuff around just the image itself, like the color and the movement and the music, are the things that in the anime kind of pull me, I think, slightly from it being that feeling of horror.
Yes, that's exactly what I feel. I think there's in the anime there are different aspects as you described: the color, the music, the timing of the music, pulls it a little bit different than what I've seen in the manga.
Yeah. So I guess the plan was 10 episodes, right? The plan was just to get through that. What do you think is the thing that actually pulled you through? Because I've said this many times. I think we did the list of like our top 5 animes that I'd recommend to someone brand new, and Attack on Titan will always be on that list for me. Well, maybe not always. That's a really big thing, but if it's for me, it's like one of the top 1 or 2, maybe 3 of all time. What was the thing that kept you watching it more so? I know you're a binger, so like it's honestly to some degree with you, like not a super unexpected thing, but like to go through 23 episodes in a week is still a pretty big feat. 3 days. Yeah. So clearly there's some pull there, Did you feel like Attack on Titan before you started this, you were going to be this into it?
It's tough because I am only so far into the manga, so everything that I've seen so far up to episode 23, I already know. I already know how it's gonna go.
Do you feel like it was more or less or equally as exciting as when you were reading the beginning manga?
That's tough. I would say I'm kind of. I don't remember that feeling when I was first reading it. I would say equal, because I'm not trying to be like a hardcore here, but I was reading it before it like got animated. I was reading it before it got big.
Yeah. Okay.
And I really liked it because of that horror aspect. But I think with the manga, I was engaged the whole time. The animations.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah, you can't really be distracted while reading a manga.
Well, the thing is, the manga at the time was monthly.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where there was a whole bunch of text, and I forgot what happened in the last chapter. I had to reread. It was just like, I'm just gonna wait till it's done.
Yeah.
So with the anime right now, I'm enjoying it. There are points where they're gotchas, like, oh shit, he survived. How did this happen? Like oh, there's so much things going on. It's exciting, right? It's just great animation.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to push to the point where I'm not where I'm at the manga.
I
Just
mean,
so
I think you're close.
I think I'm pretty close.
I
But
remember like season 2, which you're only 2 episodes away from,
I'm
is that chunk.
okay. I'm just really excited because I'm enjoying it, and I don't know. Like, I want to know, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't gotten there yet. I think that the anime is doing a good job so far. What I've gone through, it's a one. It's almost a 1-to-1. I feel like.
So there's one major difference, and I'm
Oh,
curious if you
where I
remember.
am.
And it's not a difference in terms of what happens; it's a difference of how the story was presented. And I know that sounds vague, but it will make sense to you. So, can you think of the difference? And it's a pretty big one.
Oh, this is tough. The just in 23 episodes I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like right in the beginning. It's more of a timing thing than anything else. It's when something was shown to you.
Oh, the syringe, the shot.
Now I don't. Well, maybe that I don't remember that
I don't
part being
quite
different.
remember that.
But
No, I wouldn't know.
okay, so in the anime, right? It's very linear, right? The incident happens there, right, where the Titans break through the wall.
Okay.
And then they run away, right? And then they end up they go into scout training, right? In the manga, it skips the scout training until you know some things. And then it goes back in time to show you them training together.
Oh.
Yeah. So that for me, I really thought about this because in terms of like trying to tell the story,
Yeah.
I think I can understand, but I guess I did some reading on it. It seemed like the reason he did it that way was to continue to drive interest, right? So I don't know if it was because the monthly releases or like it slows it down or whatever.
It was still early release at that time.
Yeah, so he must have wanted, I need a really big action piece to happen before we go back and like I don't want to say it because like I love the training part of that show. It's not long. It's like five-ish episodes.
It's slow.
See, I don't know in terms of like thinking about it as a manga release. I don't. It's hard for me to visualize because I've never read manga in that sense. I've always read it like I bought the volume and then I read the volume. Right. I've never like, gotten the once a week chapter or whatever. I guess I did for My Hero just to finish My Hero because I wanted to see how it would end.
Is My Hero actually done right now?
It is done. Yeah, it's completely finished.
Yes, it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Finished I want to say a few months ago was the final chapter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's like spin-offs that I guess are happening all for it. So yeah, but the final original story is completely finished at this point.
Continue with the anime or read the manga?
I would just continue. The anime is not all that far behind.
Yeah.
Either.
Oh, okay.
Like it might have one more season after this, maybe. We'll have to see how it goes. I think probably one more season.
I am still behind season 7. Gonna binge through that too.
Yeah. But yeah, so that timing. But to me, I liked how the anime presented it because I think I would have been honestly kind of annoyed in the show if it had revealed those things and then it was like, just kidding, we're gonna take you back and now make you watch the training. Versus I felt like the relationships for those characters built because of the training arc. And then when it happened, to me, it was like a bigger whoa moment to see those things happen.
That's like typical One Piece. And where like there's you go so far into the story and it peaks. And it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Flashback.
Yeah.
And, no.
Yeah, and it would be fine in any other show but One Piece but One Piece will make 47 episodes out of that flashback. So,
well, I mean, think about the chapters, right? It goes for like 6 months, and then it goes back to the real story. I'm like,
yeah, it's craziness.
Finally,
yeah, I just got to Boa Hancock in One Piece, so I'm working my way through it. I made a bet with someone to play, not a bet, I shouldn't say that. I made an agreement with someone at work for them to play the same mobile game that I play on my phone. And if they did that to a certain level, I would finish the pre-time skip era, like right away. But
Oh, Princess Skip is gold, dude.
I know it's great, but it's like I have other stuff, and to watch another 150 episodes is somewhat tough to do.
What's this?
But yeah, so that's what I was curious. Other than that, I'm not seeing a difference. I think you're right.
Okay.
And maybe I'm there's some small thing that I missed that I'm just not detailed enough while reading or watching. But yeah, everything really seems to be one for one. But I appreciate that because the story is super fucking solid. So I don't know why. I can't think of a situation that I'd want changed, at least in this part. Like, do you have something that you feel like you would have done differently?
No.
Yeah.
Well, there was this one part. I was like, what the fuck?
What part?
Weak little bitches. So they were back in the city, right, where Aaron is trying to move the boulder to plug the wall.
Yeah.
Maria, right? And there is this one part where, if you recall, Gene, I think he damages his gear.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of being able to maneuver, like just jet out of the way, he's running, and he's being chased by a Titan. Okay, like, oh shit. Marcos comes out of whatever, fine, fair, comes from behind the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then whips around to the front and fucks off that way to lure the Titan. I'm like, you bitch, you couldn't just kill it. He came from like one of the best angles from the back.
Yeah,
that's one.
Okay, that is the most trivial, smallest thing.
Sequence 2. Gene is still running. Okay, he's fine. And then another Titan is fucking on him. And then Connie comes. And what Connie does is comes from the absolute side from the Titan and decides to knee the Titan in the fucking forehead and then fuck off the same line. I'm like, you came at a better angle than Marcos to cut the neck, and you fucking did that?
I don't even remember that moment. That's such a small moment to think about.
Well, it's like they did that whole training montage, right?
Yeah.
And they were doing well. They're cutting the necks off their little dummies. Why couldn't they do that on these Titans that weren't even looking at them?
Yeah, I mean there definitely maybe is some inconsistency in times of like they're really good at stuff versus not so good at stuff.
So like that whole
But is that in reality though their first
that was their first
real mission?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Just out of nowhere, right? After they get traumatized.
So I mean I do think there is probably some other
talk about like but see, this is why I think Shinji's a bitch.
Why, who is?
Shinji.
Oh god. Okay. Oh my lord.
I will forever stand on this pile of shit.
I can't wait till like I bring you into some environment where you want to like crap your pants. And I'm just going to be like,
you know what?
You're not 14 and deeply traumatized and you're acting like a little bitch. Like, how do you do at horror houses? How do you do with that?
A horror house?
Horror, like a haunted house.
Oh, I haven't been to one.
Okay, next year, I'm going to bring you to a haunted house and I'm going to record it. And then I'm going to show you what your face looked like as someone scared you. I'm going to be like, this is not the end of the world. You're a 35-year-old adult male. And, you know, you have friends. So, and I can't wait for that moment to shit on you and be like, Shinji is acting better than you.
Okay. I'm going to enjoy myself at the horror house. I'm going to purposely get horrified to enjoy my night.
Oh, okay. I mean, that is the purpose. You do intentionally go there. Do you like scary movies?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you're fucked. I wish I had known this literally 3 weeks ago. God damn it.
I saw one where like you had to sign an NDA
Yeah, for them to like touch you.
Touch you. And like I saw this one part where they shove you in like a locker, essentially like a locker, and you're just like it's like that.
Yeah.
And it's apparently freezing in there.
Hmm.
And I would only be terrified because I would be scared they will forget about me and I would freeze them. That's the only reason why I would be scared.
When we were at Universal
oh yeah,
like 3 weeks ago or something like that, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we did the haunted houses at both Universal and Six Flags. And so Universal had one, it was the Insidious house. First of all, if you're going to go to Universal for the haunted houses, just get the express pass. Holy Christ, we were in lines for so long for those houses at night.
Doesn't everybody get the express pass?
No, and it's such a difference maker. Like, so we got the express passes for like the regular rides for the day, and we never waited more than like 5 minutes. And then at night, because the way that they've done it is like the haunted night is a different ticket than the day pass. So we're like, I was like, I'm not gonna buy the express passes for both, because we spent $500 on 2 days of tickets, already. So like I was like, we're not gonna spend another $100 and whatever just for let's skip those lines. But that Insidious line was like an hour and 40 minutes in a garage, like a hot ass garage. So yeah, but going away from that tangent, one of the funniest things that happened is we had this group of like 5 kids in front of us that were all college students. And they literally go in there, and it's like 3 guys and 2 girls or something like that. And the guys were obviously ahead of the 2 girls, and then we were right behind the 2 girls. And they kind of like feed you through like together. Like they don't really have it like groups and then wait and then groups and then wait. It's kind of just like an ongoing line. So we go in this house, and it's fine. Like it's not anything crazy. I didn't like lose my mind, like scaring, but obviously these girls were very afraid. And the guys knew. And so like there was one room where you like open the curtains to get into the next room. So they had gone through, and the girls were right about to, and the guys turned around and was like, "Whoa!" And the girls literally just dropped to the ground. And like, I swear, if they had shit in their bodies, they would have shit their pants. like they were mortified, and the guys just like laughing. And me and Katie and Cassie at the time we were there, we're just like, oh my God, it was actually hilarious to see it happen. But like that's the stuff that in scary houses is the fun parts, because like if your friends are with it and like can be in on it and get like make those memories, like because most of the time you're as an adult you're not gonna really get genuinely scared. But if your friends can mess with you in that environment, that's like money when those moments happen.
Never going with you. You just expose yourself.
I always make this joke that for like, because I obviously live in Portland, that I want to do like the underground tunnels, and I like want to take a pre-recorded microphone, or not a microphone, but like a speaker that has like a Bluetooth thing. And so I want to have it like powered on, and then like the next day go with my friend, and I'll like have pre-recorded their voice and like ghost noises. So like let's say it was Steven, right? I'd be like, Steven, and then as soon as we walked up to it, I would hit the Bluetooth button to like make it fucking make those noises.
I would too. That's what I saw.
Because I mean, like, who expects that? Who expects to know the first name?
I would not. I would purposely pay for 5 tours to set traps everywhere.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I would totally like that. Would be so worth it. It'd be hilarious. Where did we even get on that tangent from? I know you shit on Shinji, and that's what took me off the rails. But what did you even say that was the shitting on Shinji?
Where did that come from? Oh, I think I was talking about Marco was getting like.
Oh, acting like a little bitch. You were saying.
No, he was acting like a little bitch, but like.
Is he the one who gets like chopped in half or eaten in half or something?
And Connie just like failing to getting rid of those 2 Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And just like what the fuck were they doing? They just succumbed to the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I brought up Shinji.
So, okay, I think I'm thinking of the same moment. There's another like lieutenant or captain or something like that he was like super brave, and he has a girlfriend on the group, right? And he gets like chopped in half or something, right? And then she's trying to like resuscitate him with no lower body.
Yeah, like before that scene, they were like, the dude was like, I want to protect you.
Yeah.
and like the next time you see them is that scene.
Yeah. And it's like, those are the moments for me that I think hit.
So, okay, that's why this is pretty great. But like in the manga, if you remember in the manga, was I remember I think I remember it as they clearly showed that his lower half was gone.
Yeah.
But in the anime, it didn't quite show that.
I think the first few shots of the manga don't show you his lower half is gone. And then you like turn the page a couple times and then you like see the backed out image and you see that like there's entrails from his midsection.
Yeah, okay. I think it kind of let out the entrails. It was more like shadowed and like from like away. It was kind of blocking the view a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's the other thing with, I wouldn't put Attack on Titan in the same vein as like Game of Thrones, and that like he doesn't give a crap about his main characters dying. Like they definitely there's some, I would say, plot armor to some extent, but I definitely think like your side characters are never safe in Attack on Titan. And I think to me, I find so much value not out of killing characters, but out of there being genuine consequence for being in this scenario, you know, and them showing that consequence, right? Because to me, I'm like, if you gave me an Attack on Titan and nobody died and everybody saved the day, I would be like, this just doesn't feel the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's like,
but
everyone lives.
But I mean, how many animes and manga do we read that's the situation?
Bleach, many, all of them, majority of them.
Yeah. So I think it was refreshing to me to see them make those choices in the story where they didn't hold the audience's hand in terms of trying to just be nice to you, and they're like, yeah, like this is the devastation that happens in this scenario. So I have this constant conversation with people at work about the show Andor, and I'm like, Andor is like the actual reality of what it would be like to be in a insanely dangerous rebellion, and everybody that watches it is like, oh, it's slow. I'm like, dude, do you understand how slow you'd have to move to get through what you're trying to like be a spy in the Empire? Like, I'm just like, it's not like
it's not kind of just happen. It just
no, and there's consequence for every single thing. And the best part is like there's consequence even for doing things the right way. And I think that is even more impactful. It's like I did the right thing and it still fucking destroyed everything.
Reality. Yeah.
So that's for me, I think a huge reason why I love Attack on Titan is because it doesn't hold your hand fully. You know, it will allow people to die. It will allow situations that you think should be the thing that saves the day fail.
Yeah.
Right. Have you gotten to? I'm trying to. I think for sure you have. You've almost finished season 1, where they get the Titan like trapped in the woods, right?
Yeah. Just past that.
Yeah. So like that, like, I remember being like,
out of that.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, like this is awesome idea, right? And then it epically fails. You know.
Yeah. So, and he goes into this whole thing and like. I mean, going back to like that decision beforehand where he's riding the horse with Levi, and he's, you know, the female Titan is chasing them. You got the reserve team just getting annihilated. And it's gruesome, right? Just getting smashed on the tree. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And he wants to go out. Everyone wants to go out. Like, I gotta go help my guys. And like, well, the whole crew is fucking gaslighting him. First of all, right? They're just gaslighters. Like, do you not trust us?
Yeah.
Like,
So do you know the ending already of Attack on Titan? No. Okay.
I think I accidentally got spoiled somewhere in the middle. I'm not sure how true it is. I only just remembered it, but I'm trying to like forget it.
Yeah. So, oh man, there's something I kind of want you to focus on and see if you see it. But I guess I could just rewatch those sections too. I'm trying to think of a way of saying it without giving away something.
I will say that I kind of wish that I didn't read the manga, as especially at this point, because there's so much plot twist.
Yeah, there's still so many more.
I'm only like in 20 some episodes in, and I'm like, holy fuck! If I saw this for the even when I was reading it, I was like, holy fuck! Even like the um the train of thought that Armin has, I'm like, oh shit, that would have taken me days to figure out. I'm stupid. Like
Well,
when
I
they're
mean, it's a
when
fictional
they're
character, so
I get it, but then
yeah,
like Armin's apparently is the brainchild, right,
yeah,
of
yeah.
the group, and he's like, oh yeah, the reason why we brought him to the forest is because, well, first off, he makes the realization that they're trying to chase Aaron. I'm like, how the fuck did you deduce that
Yeah.
as you're almost getting killed?
But I think I wouldn't be honestly too worried, because even from where I know you've gotten to with the manga, which is not much further than you are, let's just say you got through half of season 2. There is still a ton of reveals between
And
seasons 3 and 4.
I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
Like season 2, I would say is the bit of a lull within the series, because it's the same place you stopped, right? There's a lot of like learning in that season versus action and things happening. But then season 3 and season 4 kick right back into it. So you'll just have to get through kind of your 12 episodes of like, okay, this is what's happening, and you're like, oh, I feel like Attack on Titan is constantly like this. Oh, okay, so now I understand what's happening. And then like 10 episodes, you're like, I had no idea. I have literally no idea what's happening. Like you're just constantly in this place of like, what the hell was really the situation for so long? It's crazy.
Okay. I remember you kind of being in the same phase with FMA. I think you're like, I think it was like the last like 15 or so episodes, and you're just lost.
Dude, the first like half of the series, I'm like, I have no idea what the show is really about, other than him trying to get his brother back.
True.
I was like,
true. It was very simple. In the beginning.
It's simple, but like you knew that wasn't the whole thing. And I think part of that was like, okay, this show is lauded as like one of the top 10, animes of all time. Yeah, I was like, there's no way this is all it is, right? But I still, I mean, we've talked about this. I left that show being like, yeah, it was entertaining, but it definitely was not. It's not in my top 10 personally.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't give it that justice. I'm sure it was great when it came out, but I don't know. But I feel the same way about Space Boy or Cowboy Bebop. So
yeah. I still haven't gotten past like 2 or 3 episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, it's like there's certain episodes that really hit with me because the way that show is. Man, this entire thing is just a tangent into different shows.
ADHD.
Yeah. But with Cowboy Bebop, it's like there's certain episodes I'm like, oh my God, that is an incredible episode. But because it's not like episode to episode, like it is the same people in the same storyline, but it feels very episodic and not like a linear arc.
Yeah.
So it's hard. There's episodes that really don't hit for me and that are weird. And so I end up leaving that show being like really loving the episodes I loved and really not caring about half of them.
Oh, okay.
So
I just have to brute force it. I just have to. And I think a lot of it has to do with timing, like when it came out too. Yeah. And I think I just missed it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you remember that Samurai Shampoo.
Yeah.
That was solid when it came out. That was those fight scenes, the lighting, the reflecting off the swords. Like, whoa. It's kind of what you see now in Titan.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like when we were talking, like I don't know, I can't remember. I'd have to honestly go back to our past pods, but like I remember being like the animation doesn't look that good, and I literally watched an episode and I was like, is he on crack? Like this animation is amazing. It looks so good.
It's one of my like there's different art styles, right?
Yeah.
In anime, and the style that they're drawing AOT right now, or what they're using to draw AOT is my favorite type of style.
Okay.
Right? It's not like a Yu Yu Hakusho style where they animate everything. It's like this comic book style, bold borderlines. You got these palettes of colors. I don't know. It reminds me of like when you're playing your old school like Final Fantasy VII, Star Ocean: The Second Story, those pixelated games. And then they go into these cutscenes, and they have the full detailed characters in dialogue.
Yeah.
But in this case, they kind of bring those, those. Oh my goodness, I lost the word. those characters into anime.
Was
And
the
it's so
word you
silly when I've seen
lost
it.
characters?
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was characters. But it's my favorite style, and unfortunately I can't recall what other animes do it the same way.
Yeah, I don't.
There's not too much that I've seen, but the ones I've seen I really love that do it this particular style.
I mean, to me, it looks clean. It looks
It's simple. It's so simple.
motion, like the motion's really good, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know, because it's not even like
booky.
it is, but it's also like.
And then
I
you see
think
when they go into 3D, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like comic booky though is like so bright and so like
I was
popping.
I was excluding the color.
Yeah.
But then, like in AOT, the colors are kind of popping, right?
They are, but they're still like the
palette.
muted colors though. They're like the greens, the
That's
browns,
the whole thing.
the
It's the
tans.
contrast between those vivid. I remember like the sky, right? They were flying on the roofs. The sky was beautiful. It was just like that awesome teal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was against the muted rooftops, the brown, dark. And you had the sunlight just come.
Oh my god, dude. I can't wait. You're gonna get later in the story and
so far it's amazing.
So many things. Not that they're gonna change, because that's not gonna change, but like what you think the world is right now is not the world. And I don't know how else to say that without ruining something for you.
Well, we'll talk next week. I'll be like season 3 by then.
you come to next week and you're like, I finished. I watched 90 episodes.
I didn't sleep at all.
I honestly, I wouldn't put it past someone, because it does drive you through that much. It's good.
It is like what I've seen. The animation honestly has been driving me through this, because it's just addicting.
Yeah, and there's like other villains that are come out of it, and you're just like, why would this even show up? And that they're the coolest villain of all time, and you're just like, please give me more. Please, sir, I need more. So I'm like sad that it's over, but I'm giddy because I'm excited to see you get through that. Because I remember texting people when the final season was coming out, being like, dude, that episode was insane, Yeah. But I guess I'm trying to think of where you were at in terms of like, because I guess because you said these aren't any crazy reveals, right? So was there anything that, even though you already read just this section, we're almost at the point that you haven't read to, was there still something that either you forgot was a big reveal, or still was just like kind of surprised you?
No, everything was still kind of there. Okay. I think what I was referring to were more so the side characters surviving and not surviving.
Yeah.
And you thought they were just dead, and they just like got out of it from skill or whatever, and like, oh, that was pretty amazing. I thought you were dead for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if like I don't remember anything, and I feel like even the manga did a pretty good job of like not overly foreshadowing anything that gets revealed, obviously with like Annie and obviously the other two, but I'm like I remember, like I was like reading it being like, okay, is there something, because like usually in manga, because you're on a page for longer, you have more time to spend analyzing that moment, versus like in an anime, it's just like you have a second, it's gone, and then you're moving on to the next thing. But I don't remember, like I feel like that was maybe this author's best strength, was not giving away information while also alluding that something was different, but you just not picking up on it until obviously
that's why
it's given up.
It's so hard, because I kind of, because I did forget. I know about the two, but I've forgotten about the other two. You know what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember Annie because that was an easy one to remember, and I'm just kind of following her. Actually, I'm trying to find the foreshadow, to see it,
Yeah.
and if I can actually follow it through. And it's kind of linking up to what I remember, but I don't quite remember, honestly, until I get there. As you know, so far I can't find anything too obvious.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Honestly.
I've gotten through the first 2 colossal editions.
Okay.
And there's 7 total. So I'm like, I think I'm like a quarter of the way in through the 3rd one.
Yeah.
And everything I'm reading, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I can see the small hints, but like, I don't know if without already knowing the information, if I would have picked up on it.
I think even like with Annie, they obviously made that obvious.
What do you mean by made? Like, in what sense did they make it obvious?
Okay, this is one difference that I didn't see in the anime, and I'm not sure if I didn't see it yet. But there was a scene where they were still in training, and Armin, it was hand-to-hand combat training, and Armin and what was his name? I think he died. I forgot what his name was. They were going at it, and then they see Annie, and she's like fucking around because she doesn't fight. She's trying to get away with things, and the dude tries to like coerce Eren to fight with her, to spar with her.
Yeah.
And then obviously Annie has, well, it's shown that Annie has a specific fighting style, a whoops your ass, right?
Yeah.
What I remember, I don't know if it was in the forest or somewhere else. I thought it was in the forest. Eren fights the female Titan in Titan form, and the way that they find out, or made it obvious to us that who the identity of the female Titan was, the female Titan was the stance that she took, and how that Titan took down Eren, and it was very obvious who that was. But I don't know if they shown that in the anime, or if I'm just if I missed it, or it's later.
I definitely remember it being in the anime, because I remember, like, you know, them doing the sweeping like leg thing, and it being like, oh man,
the whole
sands.
And like when they were fighting, when Eren first transformed, because he was all mad and like, I want to kill you, she took up that stance, the boxing stance, right? But it wasn't before the fight. It was during the fight that she was in her boxing stance, that you maybe wouldn't have seen it. But like,
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, she didn't do the sweeping thing. She didn't have any stills of her in that stance. It wasn't quite obvious. In that.
I mean, do you think though? I mean, I think when we see the female Titan, you see the resemblance to some degree. Like,
it's a little obvious.
Yeah,
a little.
So
yeah.
I think, you know, even further back than that, like, I'm thinking,
actually, you know what? I think it wasn't obvious.
Was there any tells, you know, in her human form? Because like the only thing I can think of is like, okay, yeah, she was a little bit quieter and kept to herself and odd and really good at combat. But again, that doesn't tell me, you know, oh, this is definitely a Titan.
If anything, she wanted to go to the military group and just live easy. Right?
Yeah,
that was kind of the way it was portrayed.
Yeah, so I think the brilliance in that character is that she didn't try to like assimilate fully and be just like everybody else to fit in. She still was really different, but in such a like a weirdly convincing way that like no one questioned it.
In a way that kind of followed. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
she was different, but different in a way where she kind of fit into the norm. Yeah, you're a kick-ass soldier, and obviously top 10 people were going to obviously go to the military course to not be on the front line.
Yeah,
and that kind of just followed the narrative. And like, okay, you're gone, bye bye. You're just gonna live a peaceful life.
So, what do you think right now is the real situation? I guess, what do you think the state of the world really is? So if you had to take a best guess into the end of season 4, what do you think is happening, you know, with all the information you have right now?
Oh my goodness, that's so far. I think there is a huge organization out there that are pumping out or experimenting on humans and making these titans, and I don't know for why. I mean, there's obviously they don't have any sex organs. They're not like making baby titans, right? Someone is making these titans, and we know so far that these are human-made titans. I mean, humans can be made into titans. Um, Someone out there, oh, dude, it's almost like the concept of Fallout, where executives were, from what I know, right, were they're like, you're in charge of this Fallout shelter, and you can rule it however you want, and we're gonna send danger out here so you can keep control and be the fear factor. I'm kind of in that narrative right now. There's some big organization out there who's pumping out titans. As to why, I don't know. Well, other than like trying to keep the person in charge to rule over these people for whatever reason. That's where I'm at. I don't have any more information.
Okay.
I don't have any more narrative.
Is there anything else you would guess is happening? Obviously not based on information, but where you like what you think your best guess is?
In towards what?
Towards like what you going off of the narrative you've given me. Who would you guess is like trying to control things?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's a whole mystery where the fuck is Aaron's dad, right? But then, like, how was he involved? He clearly fucked off somewhere. And if he was part of that organization, why would he give his son that power to fight against that power? Oh my goodness, man, now you're making me think. I just wanted to absorb it as I go. Oh, I don't have anything. I'm not even thinking that right now. Honestly. Can you ask that question again?
Oh no, each time we do this, I'm gonna ask you.
No, actually right now.
Oh, right now. Okay, yeah. So based on all the things you know right now, right? Because you don't know everything, right? If you had to fill in the gaps of what you don't know in terms of the narrative that you think is the end, what would you guess are those gaps?
What the narrative? What would even be the end outcome? Obviously, would
like you have this organization, right, that you think is running things. Who would that organization be?
Truly, it was more okay. That was okay. This is what my true thought, my actual thought is. My actual thought is they were just humans fighting wars, and they were like, "Let's make superhumans," and they fucked up. And then it got loose. And now we have a whole bunch of superhumans, which are titans now. They're fucking people up. But that does not go in hand with the whole super government organization. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know where to go with this.
And how does it explain the titans in the walls?
I know. That's exactly where I stopped.
Yeah.
And exactly. I mean... I actually forgot about that until like this moment. Yeah. I remembered it like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love what. I love this.
It's one of those shows that just literally does not. And the best part though is it answers things. Like that's I think my frustration with Full Metal.
Well, yeah, I understand your frustration there.
Yeah, is like I want to think of myself as a smart, capable human being, but I want showrunners at the end of shows to treat me like I'm a dumb 5-year-old and actually just tell me what the situation is.
No, you're right, because it does do that. Like when I was talking about Armin, like figuring out, why did they go into the center of the forest and leave us out?
Yeah.
And Armin just fucking goes in like 1 minute, tells you the whole thing. Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's like I appreciate the ability to make me think and put the pieces together, but I still want the answers. Yeah, because like, there's nothing that drives me crazier than when like a movie or a show ends in just such an open situation and they're like, it's up to you what you think happens, and I'm like, I want to strangle
such
you.
a cop out.
Yeah.
Give me the story. Give me your ending.
Yes. Like, I can disagree with you and think that it could have gone a different way, but I
Yeah.
still want your actual interpretation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the whole
Okay.
time to watch it, that fucked with me. I'm like, whoa, someone knows something. The church is in on it. They're full of shit.
That's
Obviously,
the
the church
crazy
is
thing.
right.
I forgot about the church thing, to be honest.
It's always gonna be an aspect. Like
Yeah.
whenever religion's played into it, right? Like they have to know because you can't defile the wall, and like as the minions, that's what you're told.
Mhm.
But the boss fucking knows why you can't mess with the wall.
Yeah.
But why are there titans in there, boss?
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, the church is onto it.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting part of it, though, is like how multiple organizations are even in on this, right? Because you would think, the colossal titan broke through the wall, right? You should probably tell people what's going on if you know. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, even based on the first episode, right? Like you would assume if the church was like, we kind of know something and we don't want the whole civilization to die. So like maybe we like help people out and tell them what's going on. So like that to me is where I'm like, man, that separation there's so much more involved, right? Because it's
I feel like that's very true of our society nowadays.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel I understand why the church didn't come out, or why they won't come out when the colossal titan came out. Like, we know something. Like, you're gonna wait until the last minute to save your ass.
But I'm so curious based on like, I don't know, like I think in our world, and this is obviously just a huge gross overgeneralization, the reason people don't tell things is for self-interest, right? And not for
because you want to save your own ass.
Beliefs, yeah, right. So, and I feel like more in this, it seems like or different people believe in completely different things and what they think the world needs to do. And I think that's where like this is a fictional world, and I mean there's still self-centered characters. It's like, like there's good writing here, so there's that. But it's I get what you're saying. I think obviously real people in our world would do the same thing, but maybe I'm so jaded that my personal beliefs think that they just do that because it would cost them money or would cost them opportunities or something, versus being like, no, we believe in the faith of, whatever religion or whatever it is being like the actual cause of the end all of life or whatever. But that's my own tangent. So do you have a favorite side character?
No.
No
one really. I think Mikasa's obviously like an obvious one because she's pretty badass, right?
I don't know if I would consider her a side character.
Yeah, okay, I take that back. No one really pops out. Like obviously Levi is like.
You've met Hange, right?
Well, what is that from familiar? The one with the glasses?
Yeah, the chick who's like the researcher.
The researcher, yeah.
I like her.
I would have called her best girl.
I would have thought you would have been a Sasha person, the girl who just steals potatoes.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, the moment that she's eating a potato in front of him.
I remember that in the manga, dude. I was like.
I think I will forever love her just because of that moment where she's like, doesn't even get that she's going to be in massive trouble for eating this potato.
And the dude is the sergeant, whatever. He's just going along with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, obviously that was an easy one, right? Sasha was an easy one, but like, other than her personality trait, which is the food thing, I don't see any significance.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think she is the comedic relief character, honestly, where she's brought in to provide a little bit of levity in certain moments because the show is very heavy.
The comedic scenes are fucking hilarious. though.
Like what? Like, can you think of any examples?
I cannot. But like they do just like little like dad jokes or something at the end, and it's like it's pretty good. I can't even think of a scene. And just, when it happens, it's just like that's hilarious, and then it goes
Yeah.
dark again. You know, it's just like a little bright tangent, and it comes back to the story.
Did you notice that there's not any, like, when it comes to comedic moments, right? Because like when I think of like Demon Slayer or a multitude of other popular Japanese ones, like My Hero, the comedic moments, it's like the animation changes for a hot second. It like and it's like supposed to be like overtly like ridiculous. This is one of those shows that doesn't have that. Like the comedic moments are in the world still. They're still very character real. And again, my own personal belief, that is a main reason why I feel like this anime in particular is good to tell other people to watch, because it doesn't stray from our normal watching patterns or like of how we view characters in shows. Like it's closer to like a live action real show than a lot of other animes, right? Because a lot of other animes have those ridiculous moments. And for some, I think when you get into anime, it doesn't bother you. But for someone who's brand new or like maybe hesitant to like get into it, those moments really throw people and they feel too ridiculous.
It's a bit corny.
And so like for me, like this is that show that I suggest to people because it doesn't have, it has a lot of yelling. So like I do know for sure like that can still set people off, but I'm like the real world implications of what this is about, and it doesn't really like it doesn't go ridiculous. Like to me, like the serious nature of how it handles itself is really impressive to me, and it's something like I latch onto. Like when I first started really getting back into anime, like Death Note was one of my other ones because I felt like Death Note in a similar vein treated its tone the same way, where it didn't really have ridiculous moments. It had small things, but nothing overt, right? Do you feel like when you're watching this that you feel that same way from this show, or do you still feel like it feels just like a lot of other animes?
You do make a good point, like, especially watching recently, finishing up last season of Demon Slayer, when they do go through those little comedic scenes, right?
Yeah,
it completely changes. The
yeah,
tone is changed, and you're kind of taken out of the situation.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's still kind of in world. Situations the same. It just kind of brings out the characteristics of these characters out just a little bit more, and it's entertaining, and that's it. It's simple, and it's like, oh, done. Oh, that's funny. Okay, back to the story. Thank you.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's like I don't know why this chair is so uncomfortable for me right now. Yeah, I think again, just like there's times when I watch, I want to say more traditional anime. One Piece is another good example of this because One Piece has ridiculous moments, right? It does. It has insane things that just happen, and it fits the world. So it's not like it's not like it presented itself like Attack on Titan. Yeah, so like it still is the similar vein, but sometimes I'm like it takes me out of it to some degree a little bit. Whereas when something tonally stays the same, I feel more with it. And I don't know if I have a better way of explaining that, but this is one of the shows that I think does that. But so do you have like a moment so far and again, this might be different for you because you've at least read the manga up to this point, but did you have a moment that you felt like was your favorite or something that you latched onto a lot from this first section?
I would say maybe my most horrifying moment. It was when they were outside of the wall. Sorry. Yeah, they were outside of what's that second wall?
Oh gosh,
Not
you're actually
Maria.
asking me to name Rose?
Rose, the second wall. Yeah, they were the Survey Corp was getting out of Rose, and it's preceding the scene where I was talking about earlier. Where the first time he comes out and he's crawling, he's chasing that one person on craft style in the back, right?
Mhm.
So that's one that terrified me. But the second one, it was with the female Titan and three Silver Corp guys were gonna go fight her. It was very early on when she was introduced,
Mhm.
and like it seemed like they were gonna get her. Right, one goes for the leg, one goes for the arm, one goes for the neck, and it works on something that's not moving, right? But obviously, if you're smart enough, you just have to jump and wiggle, and those things and they'll just fuck around. They're just like gone. She kills one, bam, she steps on him. The other one, I think she whacks around, whacks away, dies. But the last one, I don't know if you remember, grabs the wire, right?
Yeah.
And then just yo-yos him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. I can't even imagine just like a I don't know, a 10-story monster, right?
Yeah.
And just swinging a human body and the blood just curling out.
Yeah, doesn't the body like come apart as
No. Why don't in the anime I didn't see it that way,
I don't
but
remember.
the body folds in half, like backwards, right? From the hip. And
Yeah.
it's like, but then when I thought about it, that probably, if I were in that world, that would be the way I would want to die from a Titan.
Why?
It's instant. Whiplash, boom, neck is gone. I wouldn't want to be eaten or smashed.
Yeah, but if you're like
You know what I mean?
stepped on and crushed, it'd probably be instant.
I'd have to be whiplash. Done. That's instant. You know, whipped. I would being smashed, dude. I remember the other scene where again, female Titan, they're in the forest where they get the three elites, where she kills Petra. And Petra just like slammed against the tree face forward, and she's like backwards. And Levi sees her just like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely, I feel like, don't hold back on the death, like, final poses.
Which Bleach was a little bit more with that, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't ventured down the Bleach train yet. I feel like I got to finish One Piece and then I'll probably do Naruto.
Take a break on One Piece. Just go to Bleach.
I can't. I made the promise to my coworker. Plus, I'm like feel like I'm finally making progress. It took till Thriller Bark for me, I think, to really enjoy. I liked Eneru. Like I thought that part of Skypea was fun because I liked Eneru a lot. But I think the tone of Thriller Bark for me was really fun.
Really?
That horror element, scary stuff. Why?
Thought it was lame.
But like there's some really cool powers in it as well. Like being able to take someone's soul and but it's basically their soul. Right? I know it's called their shadow, but it's basically like their soul. And then the other one where it was just like the girl could make you just like crazy depressed.
That is a very broken ability in that universe.
But the best part is that it just doesn't work on Usopp, right? It's just like
the one person in the whole world.
And that's where I think One Piece excels. But someone did put a post up the other day that was like, okay, I'm now like 200 episodes into One Piece. Where the fuck are all these fruits? Because everybody has a devil fruit power, but I've yet to see someone discover a single one of these fruits.
That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, there's like hundreds, but I don't know if I've ever, outside of the one that you see Luffy eat in the very beginning, I don't know if I've actually seen one.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm getting there.
You'll see it soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I still don't have like an arc that I'm specifically waiting for. I don't think, but I don't know. I'm ready to crack the halfway point. I'm getting there.
It was Skypea for me.
That's the one that pulled you in.
Skypea pulled me in. Yeah. Sanji's not too much. Nami not too much. Usopp, I didn't like that chapter.
Yeah, I did not like Usopp's either.
I didn't care for it.
I don't like Usopp though, to be totally honest, as a character. He's a Zenitsu of the show.
Yeah, I think Sanji's arc and his little at his restaurant sucked me in just a little bit.
Yeah,
especially when he was his whole goodbye scene. but it was definitely Scorpio.
You just like that Nami's boobs were finally getting a little bit bigger.
Don't even. It was. I don't even know what to say.
It's okay, Steven. You're a perv. It's cool.
It was a lot to do with.
This is gonna be public, by the way.
One Piece humor was starting like that. Was like almost peak One Piece humor, right? That's when you started to see both sides, like the whole seriousness of it, plus the humor of it. I just loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know. I had to go reread it.
I feel like the seriousness didn't pick up to me until maybe Water Ennis, because
it wasn't.
It wasn't
whole,
until Water 7, right? Ennis Lobby.
Yeah, that's when it does pick up in terms of the whole series. That's when the government actually starts to come in, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like them trying to save Robin and Robin's storyline really, it did change the tone for sure.
It just, I think it was a lot of the humor that got me. The story was like okay. Of course, there was the whole NU. Was it NU? Is that his name?
Eneru.
Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, that's what it got me.
Do you remember when we found the Eneru miniature at the figure at the store in Japan, but it was like $200 or something like that?
A lot of figures.
Yeah, but I remember that one specifically because I
don't remember that figure
because it was one of the only bigger ones. I was like, oh, I've watched far enough into the show for this one, because like there was the Boa one that was like $250 or something. And I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that. It's too expensive. No, that one wasn't bad. It was like her. Yeah, it was her like sitting on a chair and like the snakes were like wrapped around the throne or whatever.
I guess I saw the other ones.
There was a few that were. There was
I don't know if you went to the floor above that floor, because that was the 30th floor.
I'm pretty sure I saw all of them. Like, yeah, there's certainly a few.
Go to 3rd floor.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing that I wish we had done more in Tokyo was spend more time in Akihabara. Because I don't feel like we really only had like an afternoon, to be honest with it, because we were spending so much time on trains when we were in Tokyo.
Akihabara was not the same day we went to go see the Gundam, right? A different day.
I don't remember, honestly.
No, that might have been the same.
It might have been. No, I don't think it was, because
what did we do that day?
The same day as like Gundam. Well, we also saw Tokyo Tower or whatever it was.
No, that was Gundam Day.
Or Skytree. Okay. Yeah. Gundam Day was Skytree. Yeah, because we were freaking on the train for like 2 hours one way or whatever it was.
Long time.
Yeah. It was crazy sauce.
Maybe
we saw that before it got moved, though.
That's true. At least it was moved and not taken down permanently.
Yeah, they put in a different pavilion for now or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. But okay, tangent number 3 that we've gone on.
More than 3.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of what else we want to cover from this first section of Attack on Titan. So in terms of, we kind of covered the tone, what we've liked. There's not really a surprise for you, right? Because again, you've already read this section. So I think the surprise factor will come more into play during the next few, after you get through the next section. Is there, I don't want to say a character you don't like, because I don't love to spread that negativity love, but I'm trying to think if there's a character you actively are like,
I want,
not even want to die, but like, like there's some people like, I love Shinji, right? Well, I shouldn't say I love Shinji. That's not the situation, but like, I don't have an animosity towards Shinji. Is there a character that you feel like you don't jive with that maybe others do? Like, do you have issues with like Mikasa or Armin, for example, or any of those like characters? Or
I don't have a strong pull one way or another with any of those characters. I think they each have their own part to play in the story, and I'm kind of going with it. No one really jived me the wrong way yet.
Do you have, if you could ship 2 characters, who would you ship together?
Ship as like
put in a relationship.
I mean, come on. Obviously, it's gonna be Eren and Mikasa.
Is it though? Oh,
I know. It's gonna. I want to ship Armin and Annie.
Why?
I think they're the perfect. I think they're opposites. I think they're perfect
No.
opposites. I think yeah.
You can't do my girl Annie dirty like that, okay? I won't allow it.
Oh, that's why.
No, come on. You
I
can't.
think
You can't.
Annie is totally into Armin.
You're on crack. There's no way.
He's so into Armin. In a pet kind of way, and in a pet kind of way, more in like I appreciate you because you're innocent kind of way.
That just sounds like pity. Like you're just a dum-dum who doesn't know what the reality is.
Well, I would compare it to Annie's life, from what I'm assuming, and Armin's life. Like, obviously, Annie's had a much harder life, and she's free to choose whatever she wants.
Has she though? Has she had a hard? How you don't know?
In my interpretation, so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Why else is she okay?
This is one I've debated with people before. I think Levi and Mikasa would be a fire couple. Why?
So obvious.
Dude, they would have the most quiet sex ever. It'd be insane.
Quiet sex is not enjoyable sex.
Oh, 100%. But I want to feel like feel how much anxiety would be in that room with two people just thrusting in silence.
Oh, that's so. I don't even understand your train of thought with that. Why?
Honestly, I don't think I ever thought it through until that moment. I just pulled that out of my ass. I legit have never been like thought about the sex, what that experience would be like with those two. But they both have mad skills and they'd probably kill it. It'd probably be fire.
Okay, you're entitled to your own opinion.
There is fan art of those two together. Okay, it's not just me.
Obviously, they're clearly yeah. I think a lot of people worship those two. Eren Mikasa. I think everyone believes that he's just naive regarding her feelings. I do kind of want to see what is that face? Oh, never mind. I think it's going to be Petra and Levi.
If you had to put Hange with someone, who would you put her with?
Me.
Not an option, sir.
I guess I don't know. No, I don't see anyone, honestly.
I'm trying to remember. Does Hange like girls or guys? I actually don't remember.
I'm not that far. I can't tell.
I can't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it even becomes a thing, to be honest. I can't.
Oh, see, I think the last thing...
I don't remember at all.
Nah, I won't say.
Yeah. But I always kind of love seeing what characters people think would go I almost just said would go gay together. Would go good together. But what characters would go gay together could be a whole other debate. Levi and Eren. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. Erwin and Levi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Levi is fucking hard on for him for sure.
Like those two, honestly, it could be a great relationship.
It could be.
They could be soulmates, for all we know. The only person that Levi simps to,
Exactly. And that's how relationships work.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love how our discussion has turned into just violent, wild speculation of it's like I said, literally not until the moment that sentence left my mouth was that a thought process.
Disgusting is a good set.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I think it'd be interesting to feel the tension in that room.
This has gone off the
rails. Would it be the one time that Mikasa would make noise? Like
I don't even. Oh my goodness. She would need a picture of Eren on the wall.
That's so bad. Oh my god. All right. This may be the end of this. Is there anything else I guess you wanted to cover from this section? So
No, I've vented enough.
yeah, I feel well, I don't think you vented. Like I feel like you wildly enjoyed this section.
Well, I did vent about the whole Gene and Connie and Marcos being fucking idiots.
The pettiest like thing to have a tirade about.
They could have killed 2 of the Titans. The third one they could have ganged up on.
Yeah, but
and they could have got away together.
We already went through this. It was their first time out in the field, like actually going against Titans.
They had clear shots to the back of the neck.
Yeah, you have clear shots to the green, and you miss it all the time.
That's pretty solid. That's good on you. That's why I'm not a fucking pro.
I was talking to,
but I acknowledge that.
Yeah, there was someone I was talking to the other day that works at Nike, and they're big into golfing as well. And I was like, I really want to do a game and just like pouring rain. Like that's where I'm interested. Like I want to see how many excuses I can make where it was really the environment around me and not me. So like that's I think that day is my day, you know.
that's like to get to the point where you have to remove all variables and to find the one variable, it being the weather or you, go to the fucking driving range, dude.
I'm not even that bad, but I just find it funny. And I think the entertaining part of it would be pulling someone into it with me and knowing that they're miserable in that environment.
I don't know what to say. That's
would you golf in a just straight up downpour?
No.
Why?
I golf for fun, and that's not fun.
It could be fun.
No, it's not.
What if you were like ripping drinks, like ripping shots while you were playing a game of golf outside? In the
one would do that.
It's like playing a game of football when you were a kid in the rain and you got to land in the mud, you know?
You playing football in the rain, it's different from me playing football in the rain. Because when I play football in the rain, 1, the rain is warm. 2, the weather is like 85 degrees.
What are you talking about?
Well, I was playing football in Hawaii as a kid. You played in Oregon in the fucking rain.
Dude, I played in Massachusetts, bro.
Oh,
where it was cold as fuck.
That sounds not fun at all.
Like October and November.
It sounds like punishment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I think like it could be a fun variable scenario one time. I think you could find a way to make it not horrendous.
From my experience, is that you're so bad at something, you have to make an excuse that, it's the weather, and you have to go play in the weather to tell yourself, it's not the weather, but like, or it is the weather.
What's your excuse though? Because you don't even have weather.
What are you talking about?
Like you're still not a pro. So like what?
You son of a fucking bitch.
You play weekly, right? I mean, are you still playing weekly?
No.
You were at one point absolutely being like, I can't hang out tonight because I've got golf after work on this day and this day and this day. And I was like, okay, I understand.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was earlier this year.
Oh, that was probably towards the end of summer. And it's very hard because throughout the year, it's cold. Thank you. It's hard to play golf, and throughout those 9 months, I forget how to swing. So when the weather comes back, I have to relearn everything I've learned last year. So I'm never like improving. I'm always just restarting to last year. That's my excuse.
Yeah, I was gonna say weather is one excuse. That's the second one right there. I'm just relearning for the 27th summer in a row.
You don't even fucking know.
Here, hold on, wait. Let me reset.
I'm learning golf for the 27th we went the whole podcast.
Okay.
I'm coming for you. Oh, that sounds.
Is that too much?
Naughty.
It felt naughty.
It sounded naughty. Aaron, let me touch your penis.
Was that better or worse?
Breathe.
Oh, he's choking on it. He's choking on it, ladies and gents. This podcast has completely dissolved.
Derailed.
Yeah. Into just absolutely nothing.
We
Okay.
don't know where we're at.
So if you're still listening, because thank you if you are.
Thank you very much.
So going forward next week, we'll try, I would say for sure be by the end of season 2, because you've only got 2 more episodes of season 1, and then it's 12 episodes for season 2.
I'm gonna pound like 10 more episodes tonight.
Okay, so I guess maybe by the end of season 3. The problem is, bro, now I have to read like 1,000 pages of manga to do that rate. So no, it'd be more than that. It would be like,
no, not 1,000.
Dude,
crazy.
There's still 4 more books, and each book is 1,000 pages.
Oh,
yeah. So that is like the equivalent of like probably, well, for me to get to like the end of season 3 is probably like, yeah, probably it's like 2,000 pages.
I don't think I'll get to season 3 because I think I'm going to have a hard time going through that season 2, that whole law thing.
Well, yeah, but if you're doing 10 episodes tonight, you're going to get through most of it tonight.
I'm exaggerating.
You know what the other thing is, though? Arcane season 2 started tonight.
Oh, but it's only part 1.
It's only 3 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to wait till that shit gets out. One of the stuff, and then I'll watch it. I'm not going to fucking... I've watched Arcane 3 times waiting for this fucking season 3.
Yeah.
I am done. I'm going to wait till season 2 is done and then watch it.
I think it's only like a couple weeks wait. I don't even think it's like,
yeah,
it's not like there's months in between or anything. So yeah. Okay. Well, we'll probably leave it there then. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week. And I can't give you an episode, count because Steven can't control himself. So
I can't control him.
Before we leave though, I just want one more time for you to say that I was right. I want to see and hear the acknowledgement just one more time.
Well, you know what? I'm not done with the anime yet, so I want to hold my reservations to the end.
No, this is his bitterness right here. His pettiness that he sent me a text message saying, "Oh my god, I can't stop watching it."
After I'm done watching the anime, I have to reread the manga and compare.
I go for it, but I want you to just at least acknowledge that you are absolutely in love with the anime.
I am absolutely enjoying the anime.
That's him saying I'm right, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that is right there.
You interpret it as you will. To each their own.
We know the truth, Steven. Everyone knows the truth. Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it there. We'll see you guys hopefully next week, and let us know if there's anything else, because apparently we're going through Attack on Titan in like 2 weeks, so we need to know what our next show is. My vote, if you ask me, is Kaiju number 8. But
is that done? Done?
The first season is done. The first season is finished. We've had this conversation.
Seasons.
You can't wait for an entire show to come out every time for us to review it. Like, a season is fine.
I just want to finish it all in one binge.
Yeah. I think as the kids say, you should touch grass. Do you even know what that means?
Literally or metaphorically?
What?
Oh, I think so, right? Isn't it get realistic?
No, it means like go outside and be in the real world. Oh my god.
I don't even know how that relates.
He has an advanced degree, ladies and gentlemen. He's supposed to know.
We're not going to talk about that.
He's supposed to know how to get you in the air in machines. This is who we trust, ladies and gentlemen. All right, signing off in a few seconds. Bye.
Bye.